Hi everyone, Cheryl Bowman here. I'm going to be talking to you today about plants, and I teach first grade. We're going to start by looking at an interview I had with a student of mine from last year, Claire. Claire went through my whole lesson and gave me a lot of great feedback. I did have other people go through my lesson and turn it in, but she's the only person I had an actual interview with so far. So Claire and I were talking, and she immediately gave me a polish and ponder because I was asking for her feedback. Let's take a look at that. Things that you were wondering about or you weren't sure how it worked, okay? And that's okay to tell me that. That's not going to hurt my feelings because that's going to help me be better at what I'm making, okay? Just like if a friend did that with you at school, right? It would help you learn more and be better at what you're doing. So it's going to be kind of fun, right? It's kind of a grown-up thing you get to do.
The only thing I have the question on, I'm starting to highlight the smiley faces. I'm starting to highlight them because I can't figure out how to.
And here she's talking about my post assessment, which was a student assessment. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. That probably, I noticed. So, Claire didn't have any problems telling me what she didn't work well. She did go through the whole lesson with me, and I'll be showing you some of what she did. She had a lot of great things to say, and even at one point we were talking, and she told me what her second grade teacher does for science and social studies every week. And she does something similar to what I was doing in this lesson, is that she puts out a brain pop video and has the kids take a quiz and do an activity. She also then attaches a magic school bus video to go with it. And I thought that was a pretty good idea. And Claire said she loves it. And so that was the only ponder. She was wondering why I had done that way, and that was her only polish for me. She really enjoyed the lesson, and we're gonna go through that in just a little bit. I'm gonna show you one more clip from Claire because she's adorable, and then we'll go on. Okay, so what I'm about to show you is from the pre-assessment, and there was a sort that went with it. And one of my thought processes in making this was keeping SEL in mind, and really about self-awareness and relationship skills, because really both of my goals. Because what the kids are going to be doing is sorting, and I'll show you in a second, different things that come from plants and don't come from plants, and some of it is a little bit subjective. It's like, what point are you talking about? Like, if it's a t-shirt, are you talking about cotton balls, or are you talking then about how it ends up in a t-shirt? And I thought that was really good for them to have a conversation about this and find out that different people think differently. And I'm just going to show you it and stop chit-chatting about it and get you right to it. That was really good. You know what I would have put over here, though? I would have put the cotton t-shirt over there. You know why?
Oh, yeah.
Because cotton's a plant.
Cotton. Yeah.
But it's okay you didn't. And I might have even put the spaghetti over there. Because the sauce is made from tomatoes.
True.
And the spaghetti is made from, what is it, like wheat, right? And even the chairs, they're made of wood, aren't they?
No.
I know. You know what, though? It's okay, because honestly, when I was making this, I was like, most everything comes from the plants.
Yeah.
Maybe teddy bears don't. It depends on what they're made of and what they're stuffed with, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know. When I was making this, I was like, boy, but you're right, too, because it could go either way, couldn't it? It's just, I wanted to have I was making it like this, so I was thinking that with. I could show you Claire all day. We had so much fun. But what I'm going to do right now is talk to you about, I'm going to go through the format that we have set up for ourselves, communication structures. So what do I have for communication? Right now what I'm in is my regular, normal, with my students, Google Classroom, okay? So not the one that I set up for you guys. So in here, I do have communication. I have my help hours during hybrid and how to get a hold of me, what my Zoom room is, my phone number, all kinds of things that people might need.
Another way I communicate is I like to communicate with parents. So I have about this unit, I have a parent overview telling them everything they're going to need to know, how to troubleshoot through something, because really, they're really doing a lot of this with the kids at home. So they need all the information they need. Here's some videos that I put with it. So I do words and videos for the parents to help them. Here we go for the plant pictures, some directions. And here's just a video of the plant sort, again, separately. It's embedded, but I put it there. And so I do the same thing with the students. Here's my pre-assessment really quick. And you can see that I have videos explaining every single slide. Because they're first graders, so they can't really read. They need directions, and they like to do things right, but they need directions to do it. Like this is, they needed to know that they needed to pull the pictures down that were not a way as seed travels and leave the rest of them up above. They needed that explicit instruction. So anyway, that's my communication is to parents. It's how to get a hold of me. It's videos and words and pictures and anything I can think of that's going to help. And then let's talk about the SEL. I'm going to get you on screen here. Let's talk a little bit about the SEL. I did mention it a little bit when I was showing you a bit about what I was doing with Claire, but I want to get into that a little bit more. The two skills I want to work on are self-awareness and relationship skills in this lesson. So self-awareness, we talked about how the pre-assessment has different answers that could be right. I can put the kids in a Zoom room and have them discuss that. And then I have assignments, which I'll show you in just a little bit, where the students have choice so that they can do what they want. And we can see that people doing things different ways can still be right. And it helps us have a relationship where we understand that we are different and that is okay. And somebody thinking different about something is only helping to enrich the rest of us. And relationship skills. I want to pull up a document right now to show you what I'm doing with that. An area of instruction that is weak online with first graders is when you put them in a breakout room in Zoom, they tend to do one of three things. Sit silently and stare at each other. Run around grabbing things to show each other from their house, like stuffed animals, real animals, whatever. Or they end up just doing exactly what they're not supposed to be doing, or actually, that even kind of ties into the first one. Actually, the one I was thinking of is that their parents come in and run the small group. So I'm popping from Zoom room to Zoom room to Zoom room, and sometimes kids are on task, but often they're doing one of those other things. So this idea for this lesson, that I take it from what's in my brick and mortar room. Everybody has a job. So I thought I'd take 2 kids from one of my hybrid classes and 2 from another, give out the jobs, and you can see what I have written right here. So everybody has a responsibility. And then as I'm popping from room to room, I can kind of see how things are going and who's doing what they need to be doing and help them understand that role. So I think giving that information is really going to help them work on their relationships and their self-awareness, and really both of those things together, and giving them some extra responsibility. And quickly, how does my lesson meet the online teacher standards? Well, first let's start with professional responsibility. I am being reflective. I'm even being reflective with Claire. She's sharing with me about her lesson. Not only that, but with my peers as well. I'm making sure that everything that I put from YouTube into my classroom runs through a filter. I'm not using something like Safe School like a lot of you might be using, but my district actually has on their teacher page a filter where you can put a YouTube video in and it filters it out for school, and we prefer to do it that way. So I'm working on that with the digital citizenship. And if I'm thinking about the pedagogy that I'm using tech tools that I've got from my district, but also I'm knowing when my district isn't offering everything I need. So I'm like like we have an account for Brain Pop through my district and we use Google Classroom. But I know best practice is to use Seesaw for my kids for some assignments or something like that. It could be Pear Deck or whatever my choice is, where they can actually then put that in and draw and work how they can, since they're not proficient on a keyboard. And of course, keeping everything in the safe space. How am I community building in this lesson? Well, I hope that I'm doing that in every lesson, in my interaction with the parents, how I'm trying to guide them and help them to get where they need to be, and give them all the resources that they need. And not only that, but I'm making a lesson that I can then share with my team. And I have an example of a virtual library that I make every week that I share with my entire first grade district, that's part of this lesson. And of course, building the community with the students, where they are going to be working together in their Zoom room discussing things. And how is the learner engagement happening? Well, I can't wait to show you, because that's a really big part of my lesson, is that the kids are creating and synthesizing their ideas to create things, innovative things that they can then turn into me. So we'll look at that a little bit more in the lesson, but it definitely is a theme throughout my lesson. I'm going to show you the assessments really quick. In my Google Classroom, I only have 2 of the 3. The third one I'm going to have to show you in the Google Classroom I set up for you guys, because it's a teacher assessment. So anyway, so let's see. So here's information for parents. Here's my essential question. First assessment, what do you know about plants? We kind of saw that with Claire. She and I were talking about that a little bit. And so this is a pre-assessment for the entire unit. The lessons we're looking at right here are only the first week or 2, where we're looking at plant parts and what they do and how they travel. And then we would be going on to doing how seeds travel and what a plant needs to live and grow. And we're going to be doing some of those other investigations throughout the unit. Let's go back here. Okay, go. I'm going to go right. Oops. I'm going to go right to the post-assessment. This is what Claire was talking about. She couldn't write in it. I do like this post-assessment, though. She could write here. I do have a text box for her. How many smiley faces do you have once you answer this? And they give themselves 1, 2, or 3 smiley faces. And then what could they have done to get more smiley faces? So it is self-reflective. Okay, and then I have a rubric for the teachers in my district. It's a simple rubric. Parts of a plant, first grade, and it's there to assess the lessons of this first week or 2 of our whole program on plants. Okay, here's some of the lessons. This one is where they're going to take a closer look at plants and discuss with someone what they notice is the same and different about the different parts of plants. There's a video that goes with it explaining the instructions. Then they're going to get more information about plants and plant parts by watching this Brain Pop video, taking the little quiz, and they have a choice of either writing or drawing about what they learned, and there's options right there within Brain Pop for that. This is the virtual library I was talking about, where I have all these great books for the kids that they can listen to and read about plants. So then I have them showing me one thing they learned about a specific part of a plant and how it helps the plant. They can do that in a video or by drawing a picture or showing me what they're writing. And finally, an investigation where they go out on a scavenger hunt and find different parts of plants and then sort those parts and use magnifying glasses to get a closer look. And then put all those pictures of what they did on Seesaw. So they're putting their sort on there, and they're putting their close-up picture. So that's the whole lesson. I'm going to attach some pictures to this. I had to go fast. Only 15 minutes is my limit, but I will attach some pictures of the students' work and a little bit more to help you understand. Thanks so much. I appreciate your time.